Chiefs, Niners. The matchup everyone wanted is finally here. What's up guys, Andrew here for Simply Sports. I'm absolutely pumped for Sunday's game. In this video, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I found during my film study of both teams' playoff games, as well as give you some predictions and bets that I like for Sunday's game. We'll look at the Chiefs film first. Everything that could have went wrong did in their playoff game against the Texans for the first 20 minutes of the game. This film was from Houston's first drive. The Texans come out in a 3-receiver bunch to the left and run a bubble for DeAndre Hopkins. This wasn't a successful play, considering that Hopkins only picked up 1 yard. However, it's set up for a big play later on in the drive. 5 plays later, it's now 3rd and 1. Houston ran the same look, bubble out of bunch left. This time, 2 defenders chased the bubble because this looked exactly like Houston's previous play. Considering Houston only needed to pick up a yard for a first down, this play design worked effectively, and it left Kenny Stills, who got wide open for a 54-yard touchdown. So these plays highlight the weaknesses for Kansas City. For one, some Chiefs defenders are slow. Their 3 starting linebackers ran 4.7 40s coming out of college, and safety Daniel Sorensen, who ran a 4.67 back in 2014, are slow. And number 2, well, they rely on instincts mainly because they're slow. Kyle Shanahan is great at keeping defenders from playing with instincts. He can even put great players like Vikings former All-Pro Harrison Smith in lose-lose situations. Smith is a great player, versatile, instinctive athlete who plays everywhere on the field. On this play, he's in a deep zone, reads the play quickly, and flies to the ball to hit Sanders. 2 plays later, it's 2nd and 8 from the Minnesota 14-yard line. Smith is the best option to guard Kittle this close to the end zone, who becomes even harder to match up with because you're usually at some disadvantage, that being either he A, blows you off the ball as a blocker, or is too shifty to cover if they pass. The 49ers come out in a 4-wide look, with Kittle lined up in the slot to the left. Before the snap, they send Deebo Samuel into motion. On the left side of the formation, Kittle hesitates before running and catching a slant for an 11-yard gain at the 3-yard line. From the start of the play, this becomes a lose-lose proposition, regardless of what the Vikings do. For starters, Samuel only breaks into a full sprint right before the snap. He doesn't give away the orbit motion until right before the snap. It looks like jet motion, which is something they can and will run. The use of this last-second orbit motion makes Samuel more dangerous for a few reasons, which result in a compounding effect. 1, he picks up more speed running behind the formation and is a bigger threat than he would be if this play design included a standard jet motion. 2, because Samuel travels this extra distance behind the formation, there's time for Kittle to come out under control off the line and sell a run blocking look. 3, Harrison Smith plays with outside leverage because he has safety help to the inside. However, if Barr were unable to track down Samuel in the event of a swing pass to the flat, Smith would realistically have the best chance to stop a touchdown by forcing Samuel inside. He has to maintain his distance from Kittle in the event of the quick pass because Kittle is so dangerous as a blocker. Fourthly, back to the motion. The additional threat of having to chase down Samuel, a receiver with running back instincts once he gets the ball, who has just built up a ton of speed because of the orbit motion, vacates Barr from where Kittle has to run the slant. If Barr doesn't react as strongly, this passing window gets really tight. If Shanahan calls for jet motion instead of the orbit, you can't sell the threat to the flat as well, and nothing's ready. If Kittle isn't that guy in the slot, both options aren't nearly as deadly. Everything works together. And you can tell Shanahan understands offensive play design down to the finest detail. Harrison didn't get picked on during this play, but Shanahan was able to take a very instinctive player and put him in a lose-lose situation. Just imagine what he's going to do to the Chiefs safety Daniel Sorensen, who runs a 4.7 instead of Smith's 4.5 and has worse instincts and has to commit early in pursuit. This isn't a Daniel Sorensen sucks episode. He's a huge reason the Chiefs are even here, considering he made an extremely instinctive play and sound tackle on the Houston Texans' fake punt back in the divisional round, but he's a lot closer to an Andrew Sendejo type of player than Harrison Smith. Speaking of Andrew Sendejo, he got picked on too. The 49ers run this orbit motion action again, which again draws extra attention because the motion receiver has all that extra space to build up speed. The 49ers start off with 2 wide receivers to the left. Sendejo's covering Bourne before he goes in motion. Due to the suddenness of this orbit motion right before the snap, Anthony Barr now has to follow Bourne away from the formation. Danielle Hunter gets kicked out by a backside pulling guard, and Sendejo is now left in open space to make a play, instead of Barr, who is naturally a better run defender. The Niners rank first in terms of how often they actually use pre-snap motion, but the Chiefs aren't far behind, ranking 5th. The Chiefs want to turn the game into a track meet. In between Mahomes' bombs down the field, they'll keep you honest on quick-hitting plays like this. Catching Mecole Hardman with his 4.2 speed and a head start isn't a bad option when you're Andy Reid. But the Chiefs are at their most dangerous when Mahomes breaks the pocket. On this play, Mahomes gets flushed out of the pocket and throws literally in the air, pressured and everything. And he hits this throw consistently. At some point, a defense just breaks down. And Tyreek Hill is not just fast, but tracks the football so well that this play, which isn't even an option for anyone else in the league, is completely on the table with Mahomes and this speed demon offense. Now, this isn't their bread and butter, but it happens a few times every game. Their go-to plays usually involve Kelsey, but there's so much that scares you in this offense that it's really just a matter of time before they figure it out. There's a huge advantage for Kansas City, and Warren Sharp already told the world about it on Adam Lefkoe's podcast. 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 3 receivers in the game, which Kansas City ran 47% of the time in the regular season, is a personnel grouping the 49ers struggle mightily against. Kansas City might be the hardest 11 personnel matchup in the entire league, all things considered. The 49ers have more good players in this game, but I have to go with the Chiefs here. It feels as if their offense is the most dangerous, hardest to cover I've seen in recent memory. But if the 49ers win, it's going to fall on the interior rush. The Chiefs' center and left guard look like their weak spots, and DeForest Bucker is especially nimble rushing between these gaps. For bets, the one I like most is the Damian Williams total for rushing yards, under 52.5. This total has come down late in the week, but I still like it. The 49ers linebackers and D-line give me confidence, as they're great pursuit players. But the main reason is I think he's actually used more as a receiver in this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you want to see more breakdowns like this, and let me know what you think of this type of video. Draft season's around the corner, so I'll be making some of those videos in the future. Stay tuned. For Simply Sports, I'm Andrew, signing off.